knees and sweaty palms. I don't know what's going on. Serotonin syndrome flowing through my blood tonight. Shaky knees and sweaty palms. I don't know what's going on. Serotonin syndrome flowing through my blood tonight.
Okay. Let's go. Finally. First attempt. For the love of God, that took 6 trillion years. Finally. Snatched versus Victor.
Is what you get. Poison dart right, naturally not poisonous. They only generate poison because of the things
Okay. Nice. That was a really close call. All right.
Inside the GI tract, it's soaked in liquid, water, mucus, and stomach acid. This fluid can seep in, and if the battery doesn't come out, something could cause that battery to leak. Small batteries have a standardized code name. The first part has letters and identification of the cause. The last two numbers is how tall the battery is. The remaining number is the diameter. This battery content leakage, or even the batteries breaking and fragmenting inside the body, has been shown to injure people. Lithium-ion like batteries use leakage as brand of wireless headphones. The imaging program for each one, not the brand, located C wireless headphones. The physicians call it Sense L-Retreat. This was chosen for letting it pass through the GI tract because it could cause more injury if allowed to pass through, either through possible blockage, battery causing burn, or battery leaking its contents out. HB was sedated as the operation things like this happen. Sometimes because small wireless headphones cause long-term damage, like plastics. Something will show up years later, and the truth is, it can cause some cases of injuries. Also, concerned about that because that's what's going to cause problems with the whether or not the plastics from the headphone material will cause long-term problems is
Ah. Nice. Hell yes! Woo! Blind faith. Yeah. GG.
0.0001% of the population, as in you specifically.
But I stand to see
Okay. Alright.
So many different reasons. I just wish you could have seen it. I just wish you could have seen it.
Bam. And I don't choke there in normal mode. GG. Get the hell out of this thing.